By the way, did y'all hear the other day what Don Lemon said about black folk? He said, I don't think you can be black and be rational. He says, I don't think you can be black and be rational, be a rational mega. In other words, if you're African American, and he did say, I think that you can be black and be a Republican, but I don't think you can be black and be mega. So I guess he's saying there are no rational black people who are working with President Trump. I have thoughts on being black and being rational. I don't think you can be black and be rational and be a homosexual. Speaking of rational, now if we want to talk rationale, you're sexually attracted to somebody who got what you got. Now, is that rational? Because God made who and what we needed. Oh Lord. Rational. See, he's not talking about being spiritual. Rational. Just think about it. Is it rational for a man to be sexually attracted to a man, and then he married a white man at that, but he's making a comment on black folk? Now that's rich, isn't it? You talk about rational. Ain't nothing rational. Let me see, I'll go too far and they'll pull me offline. But you get the point. Ain't nothing rational about that. God brought Eve to Adam. So, don't you think it's irrational when you are participating in a lifestyle that if everyone participated in it, it would mean the extinction of the human race in less than 100 years? There would be no people. We die because babies don't come from that. So that's my 2 cents on rational.
I tell you, Bishop Wooden knows how to break those things down. It's not rational for a man to want to be with another man. That's irrational, and that's how you know it is a spirit that has perverted that natural inclination for a man to be with a woman. As I've said over and over and over again, the natural order is God, man, woman, then children in a familial relationship. That's the way it should be. However, in the black community, and it started actually in America in the white community, but it has seeped its way into the black community. And with anything, once it gets into the black community, we tend to do it at a larger scale. But in the black community, when the black church, the church plants decided to partner with the government and allow the government to come in and kick the father out and made the women the leaders of the home, made black women who wanted to participate in feminism the leaders of the community, placed them in positions that God did not want them to be in. When that happened, this perversion started to creep into the community. Now, it was slow at first, but with anything, it's gradual and then it's suddenly. So now you have all of these people participating in these drag queen shows. You have these boys dressing up like women and girls dressing up like men. It should not be the case. But because this has crept into the community, more and more people are starting to normalize it. When I made the video last week talking about the death of the straight black American man, that was legitimate because, as you will see in this video, there are two men whose masculinity has died: the son and this father. I want to talk for a moment about what's going on in the economy and all the economic uncertainty that we're seeing. We know what's going on with the tariffs. We know what's going on with the increasing prices. We know what's going on when it comes to the threat of economic and trade wars and those kind of things with China, with Canada, with Mexico. But have you thought about how that affects you on a personal level, how it affects your retirement? If you have your money in 401ks and IRAs and those kinds of things, you know that the stock market has been topsy-turvy lately. But did you know that gold and precious metals such as silver have been kind of a buffer, a hedge against inflation, against the falling value of the dollar? I mean, I've heard stories about how other countries want to get away from the dollar. And so in those times of economic uncertainty in the past, a lot of people have relied upon gold, have relied upon silver, have relied upon precious metals to protect them, to protect the wealth that God has given us. And I believe as stewards that God has made us stewards over everything that he's given to us, that is important for us to be wise as serpents, but harmless as doves. So if you want a free resource that talks about how you can incorporate gold and silver into an IRA, into your portfolio, click the link below or click the link that's in the description.
My husband surprised his son by taking him to the prom.
Don't mess up that makeup, grab her. Grab her.
Look down, let him cry. Oh, he's crying. Oh my God. Oh, you made him cry. Wait. Let's let him fall on the floor.
Let him fall.
Let him fall on the floor. Oh, poor baby. Hurry up. I know my son's going to cry. Oh. Hold on. Get it off, honey. Get it off. Yes.
Look up.
Oh, Mello's crying. Mello's a man. He didn't know his pops was going to be there. He's crying.
This is monumental. Beautiful.
I know. Don't cry. Oh.
All right, come on. I need pictures. Excuse me.
Ready? Good?
I love the candidness. Let it know. Let it. Let's go. Okay. Using emotions.
The reason why I say that both of their masculinity died in that moment, that young man's masculinity has been taken from him more than likely by the mom. The mom was one of those black women that are cheering and celebrating the fact that this boy's dad came up here and took him to the prom. Now, some people may say, isn't that showing love for your son? Isn't that showing acceptance? You must accept your son in everything that they do. No, you don't. You can love your child. You can love a family member, but you don't have to condone and accept and affirm things that are in disagreement, that are outside of the will of God for your life. God does not want that young man dressing up as a woman. That young man got exposed to some kind of feminine spirit, more than likely by the mom who was pushing this feminist ideology. That man, that husband does not run that household. That woman runs that household. And so that woman probably condoned, that woman probably used to take her son to the beauty salon, probably used to take her son to certain places with her. And so that boy got exposed to the feminine spirit that got on that boy. And instead of the woman coming alongside with the man and saying, you know what? I see this happening with our son. How about we do something about this? How about we correct this before it gets out of hand? No, this woman probably enhanced it, probably encouraged it, and probably told her husband to get on board. Because if you read the caption right here, it says, so let me explain this first video. My son has had a rocky relationship with his pops growing up because his pops is Muslim and does not condone his lifestyle, so wearing makeup. But see, that's the thing. When he took his son to the prom, he just condoned that lifestyle. So wearing makeup, feminine hairstyles, nails, and all that has always been a problem. So you see, who has it been a problem for? It wasn't a problem for her. It was a problem for her husband. So on this day, he thought that his pops would not even come outside to see him leave for the prom because he has never saw him offer any of his dances in the past. So this is not the first time this person is dressed up like a woman. Well, his pop said, I'm taking my son to prom as his chauffeur, and I'm going to match his outfit. Oh, so the boy's name was so surprised to see him get out of the truck, but when he saw how he was dressed and it matched what he was wearing, he cried like a baby. And it was a very beautiful moment for him, my husband, and the whole family. To have a supportive dad when you are in this lifestyle is rare and meant everything in the world for my son. Shout out to my husband. I love you. You see that? This explains why this son feels empowered to dress like this and why that man does not have a say-so. That man does not have a say-so in his household. He's probably been fighting against this and fighting against this, but he realized that he did not have a partner in his wife to assist him. And so he eventually bent the knee to this. That's why I say his masculinity died this day. And just so you know that I'm not making this up when I talk about how the mom is more than likely the one pushing this stuff. The mom is more than likely a feminist, a black feminist that does not believe in the biblical order. She happened to be one of the 92% this past November. Look, man, as I've said in previous videos, there is a strong attempt to eliminate masculinity in America, but in particular in the black community. This has been going on ever since the civil rights movement. It's been going on full blast ever since the 70s and the 80s. Why do you think they're doing their best to push these things into our schools? The majority of people that go to these public schools are black children. Why do you think a lot of pastors are quiet when it comes to the LGBTQ? Why do you think that? That's why I call them church plants. They don't preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. They don't stand on biblical values. They are representative of the Democratic Party. They are there to keep black people in a permanent state of victimhood. So of course they're not going to come out against the LGBTQ community. Matter of fact, they're going to endorse that stuff because they have to. They're church plants. And it's sad to see when a man's masculinity leaves him. It's like watching someone's soul leave them. That man's soul left him at that moment. His masculinity was seeping through that purple outfit that he had on. It was seeping all the way through. You can see it on his face. And it's sad to see that. But that's where we are in 2025 in America. That's where we are, especially in the black community. They don't want biblically masculine men. Straight black men are an endangered species. They're doing whatever they can to drive Jesus out of the community and drive straight black men out of the community because they want to make the community victims. We're not victims. We are empowered for greatness.